So, February. Where I am, Black History Month is until October, but in the US it's this month. But I know my role as the classic cartoon reviewer. Old school cartoons are a hotbed of some of the vilest stuff that passed for entertainment. But surely there was something that tried to bring all creeds together? Surely someone tried to bring us together as a Brotherhood of Man? Robert Cannon and John Hubley's Brotherhood of Man. Based on a pamphlet by Ruth Benedict and Gene Weltfish and commissioned by the United Auto Workers, Brotherhood of Man aimed to introduce new ideas to the animation game. One of the earliest films by the UPA studio, this educational film was created to address the issue of race relations at a time when no one else seemed to care. And I say seen because quite a few people from the other studios were involved in this one. Ken Harris and Ben Washam from the Termite Terrace, Ringlarder Jr. from MGM, and Paul Smith and P.D. Eastman from Disney. So, does Figaro have magic oh-oh? Let's find out. The film starts with a view of the future. Okay, the future as interpreted from 1946. As our narrator explains how the world feels closer than ever before.
One of these days we're going to wake up and find that people and places we used to just read about are practically in our own backyard.
We then enter someone's house, where a man, who judged by the pamphlet cover is called Henry, wakes up to see every culture of the world just beyond his back garden.
It's happened!
Now here I have to mention the art design. UPA style really does help to bring the design of the pamphlet to life, even without altering their own style one bit. So, Henry gets dressed and rushes out to see his new world. But in a classic case of Caucasian clumsiness, he slips on some Arctic ice and crashes into an Asian gong. So now we get our first view of all the peoples of the world. And in terms of representation, well, it's a bit of a mixed bag. While some depictions, like Asians, are of their time, others, like the depictions of black people, are leagues ahead of their time. Henry sees everyone and goes to greet them, but is stopped when his inner bigot starts to take over.
I don't like the looks of this. Why not? It's going to be wonderful. Nah, it'll never work. You can't get along with those people. They're too different. We'll get along. We've got to. The future of civilization depends on brotherhood.
Absolutely. But then Henry's inner bigot gets the better of him, as does everyone else's.
Wait a minute. What about this business of brotherhood?
But we're all different.
Yes, and you've got to work with your differences, not against. That's what this whole film is about. The narrator then explains that all humans originated from the same place and expanded and moved across the world where variations began to occur.
Well, there are other differences in people besides a skin color.
Yes, you find all sorts of hair, eyes, nose shapes,
foot sizes. Sorry. Okay, so far this has been pretty forward-thinking for 1946.
and a few other frills that distinguish our three races: the Caucasian, the Negroid, and the Mongoloid.
Okay, that language was very 1940s. I know this was made for a mostly white audience, but those last two words you could never say today, and for very good reason.
For example, there is no difference in physical strength.
Okay, back on form after that little hiccup. So everyone lets go of each other. But then Henry's inner racist tries to bring in another question.
But what about brains?
That was rude. No wonder that other guy took offence. So the narrator explains that while there is some degree of variance in brain sizes, it's not the size of the brain that matters.
Counts, it's what it can do. And their tests have shown that our three average men are equal.
Absolutely right on the money.
If you take their skins off, there's no way to tell them apart.
Again, true, though I do question the ethics of doing something like that.
Everything's the same. Heart, liver, lungs, blood. No, No, not blood. Blood's different.
Technically true, though not in the way that Henry's Inner Brexiter thinks. As the narrator explains,
there are 4 different types of blood. A, B, AB, and O.
Then we see a Type B man try to transfuse his blood with his Type A brother, with disastrous consequences.
Stanley! He's dead!
Then we reverse time to save Stanley with a random stranger with Type A blood.
And the right blood donor for him could belong to any race, since the 4 blood types appear in all races.
Yes, that is right. But Henry's Inner QAnoner still doesn't quit, and fires off another cliché.
How come we live like this? And,
So the narrator explains how things change, demonstrating how at one time when Europeans were still uncivilized, cultures in Asia and Africa were flourishing. And to prove this point, I will point to none other than Mansa Musa I, the richest man in history, who came from the Mali Empire in West Africa. All cultures around the world came to peak at different times in history, but several ideas were and are common in all branches of humanity, including
belief in a supreme being, in the home, and the family.
That is true, yes, but not necessarily for me because I don't have a supreme being.
I get it. But now that we're living so close together, we can get used to each other's ways and work together peacefully.
So everyone agrees to settle their differences and work with each other.
All we need is a little real understanding and what I said before, brotherhood.
So the narrator explains that we need to ensure that everyone has an equal opportunity right from the start. Equal access to health, education, and work.
Then we can all go forward together.
I agree, and I don't think that can be questioned, really. So that was Brotherhood of Man, and, well, obviously it was forward-thinking for 1946, but is it worth discussing today? Yes, it is. Is it perfect? No. Some language is a little outdated, and some depictions, such as Asians, are very much of their time, but other depictions, such as black people, are way ahead of whatever Tex Avery was doing around this time. As for production quality, the animation is good, but the art direction is fantastic, defining an image for itself and UPA's existence as a whole. While some parts would be different today, it still offers an important lesson that is worth accepting even today. And especially today, might I add. In other words, this cartoon could save its kisses for me any day of the week. Thank you for watching. If you like this, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll be back with another cartoon to talk about next month. So until then, I'll see you later.
But during National Brotherhood Week, National Brotherhood Week, Lena Horne and Sheriff Clark are dancing cheek to cheek. It's fun to eulogize the people you despise, as long as you don't let them in your school.